Hello everyone. Today I am in front of you with the first chapter of Standard 7th. And in this chapter we shall study about a person who is really afraid, who is really afraid of his friends. Actually, his friends are keen on playing practical jokes. Now, practical jokes are jokes which are intended to cause embarrassment, some mischief which causes embarrassment. This story has been written by Guy de Maupassant and he presents the fear of being embarrassed by friends and how sometimes extra precautions make you a fool out of nowhere. As usual, I have divided this chapter into small sections. I have summarized each sections and the difficult words have been written over here with their meanings. Some difficult words, the meanings are already there in the book. I have not mentioned those words, and except those, the other difficult words which I found according to me have been written here, and some important parts from the story have been written in red in each slide. I would like you to take a pencil before starting this chapter and underline the difficult words as well as the important sections. The first part of the story can be called as the doubt. Now, let us start with the story. The doubt part has been mentioned in paragraph number 1 to 6. So, as you can see, the speaker he visits some friends. Where does he visit those friends? He visits those friends in Picardy. The name of the place is Picardy. Now the speaker is visiting some friends, and from the moment he arrives at their house, he is convinced that his friends, who like practical jokes, I have already explained what are practical jokes, are about to play a prank on him, are about to do a mischief with him. And due to this, the speaker becomes extremely suspicious. He starts doubting everyone. Okay, the warm welcome that he receives, the jolly mood that everyone is experiencing, all of these excite a sense of suspicion in the speaker. Now, he is welcomed warmly at the time of dinner. Everyone is happy, everyone is joyous, everyone is cheerful. And when the dinner is over, his friends come to accompany him to his bedroom. Like almost each and every friend of his comes to accompany him to the bedroom. This makes the speaker really doubtful, really suspicious that why is he receiving so much of attention? Why are his friends doing such a big favor on him? Now, this one was the first part, the doubt. Coming to the second part, in the second slide of the story, I have mentioned that slide as the precautions. The precautions, as you can see, are visible from para 7 to 11, from paragraph number 7 to 11. So, as soon as the speaker enters his room, he is very doubtful. Right from the moment he arrives at his friend's house, he is very doubtful. So when the speaker enters his room, he steps carefully, like if anything must be falling around his way. Then he sees the candles, and one idea comes to his mind. Okay, one idea comes to his mind, and that idea is that it might happen that all the candle will burn out and leave the speaker in complete darkness. So, to escape from that darkness, he lights all the candles that he can find. After lighting all the candles, he examines everything. He looks upon everything and he finds nothing suspicious, nothing that could arise suspicion in his mind. He closes the window shutters, draws the curtains, closes the window shutters, draws the curtains, places a chair in front of them. In front of what? In front of the window, so that no one can reach him through the windows. Okay, so what steps does the author take to be safe? Lights all the candles, examines everything, closes the window shutters, draws the curtains, and places a chair in front of them. Right? So these are the precautions taken by the author. In the third slide, the third part can be mentioned as the wait. What is the wait? What is the wait for? What is the condition that the speaker has to wait? He waits for his friends to go. He waits to find out the mischief. He waits to find out the practical joke. So first he sees that the armchair is solid. The armchair is solid means that the armchair is not broken. Sometimes people do what? They partially break one leg of a chair so that when somebody sits on it, the chair collapses along with the person sitting on the chair. So he sits in the armchair because he does not dare to get into the bed. Okay. He is unable to muster the courage to get into the bed. The prank, whatever it is. Okay. According to the author, the prank must have been set up at or around the bed. But as the night advances, as the time gets closer, as the weather gets darker, he argues with himself. He thinks and thinks and thinks that his friends are still waiting for the joke, for the prank to take place. The author thinks that his friends are waiting outside his door for the success of the joke. As soon as the joke will be successful, his friends will appear, his friends will come over there, and they must be laughing at him for being so scared. He cannot let them have so much fun at his expense. At his expense means that he will not be the center of the joke. He will not become the person upon whom everyone laughs off. But finally, as the wait goes longer, as the time develops, as the time passes, the author decides to go to bed. The author decides to go to bed. Okay. Here is a sentence. I finally came to the conclusion that I was being foolish because the author had checked and double checked everything. So it is definite that there are chances the author is getting too much cautious. The author is taking too many precautions. It might be a possibility that there are no practical jokes taking place, being planned. So he just decides to go to bed. What happens after that? Let us have a look in the next slide. The next slide is sleep prevails. Okay, so finally, how long can you stay awake? There will be a time when you will start feeling sleepy. So the author now goes near the bed and he experiences some things. What are the things? He checks again. The bed curtains seem secure. Okay. But then he realizes what will happen if he receives a cold shower from overhead. if he receives, like he goes on the bed and there is a bucket lying somewhere above the bed, and that bucket full of water falls on him, okay, it might be possible that the bed will be broken and the author will sink down to the floor as soon as he lies down on it. Finally, the speaker, the author, thinks of one more clever precaution. What he does, he pulls the mattress and bedclothes down to the floor and makes his bed on the floor. So, he pulls the mattress and the bed sheets and decides to sleep on the floor in the middle of the room. Then he puts out all the candles and goes to sleep. You see, these lines explain the anxiety of the author. He says, perhaps I was going to receive a cold shower from overhead. Okay, this is the line which shows how he drew the bed seats. I caught hold of the side mattress carefully and very slowly drew it toward me. Dragged all these objects into the very middle of the room facing the door. I made my bed all over again as well as I could. Okay. This line takes place after he had decided to sleep. He says, I remained awake, starting at the slightest sound. He remained awake, starting at the slightest sound. It means that as soon as he heard something, he used to get cautious. He used to examine everything. He used to think who is standing on other side of the door. Okay. Moving on to the next slide, now happens the accident, in which the author is woken up rather abruptly. A number of strange things happen at once. First, a heavy body falls on top of him. A burning liquid falls on his face, neck, and chest. Okay, like what happens? He is in deep sleep when he experiences that something has fallen over him. Okay, something is that heavy body, and a burning liquid falls on his face, like something falls on his face which was very hot. Okay, so something hot falls on his face, neck, and chest. There is a noise of plates and dishes crashing. Means plates and dishes are crashing one by one. He tries to understand what has fallen on him, and then he feels a face. Like he was under the bedsheet. Okay, and on the top of the bedsheet, he tries to feel what has fallen on him. He feels a face. It means he feels a person. And then he starts punching that face. As soon as the author feels that there is a person falling on top of him, he starts punching. He starts punching the face and in return receives a series of slaps. Okay, so the author punches and he is slapped in return. He then jumps out of the bed and rushes outside. He goes outside. Okay. Here is the line which explains that at the same time I received on my face, my neck, and my chest a burning liquid which made me utter a howl of pain. So something hot was fallen, something hot had fallen on the author, and then that had made him groan in pain. Like if something hot falls on you, you also excruate, you also shout with pain, and the same thing happened with the author. Okay, and due to the plates and dishes falling down, the author was deafened. Deaf means someone who cannot hear, and deafened means a loud noise that disables anyone from hearing anything else. So then the author punches, he is slapped, and then he jumps out of the bed and rushes outside. Fine. In the next slide, which is the realization. When the author rushes out, he finds that it is morning. Okay, and the noise was already there. Due to that noise, all his friends come into his room. All of them look into the room along with the author and then realize what actually happened. You need to understand this in a better way, that what happened. Actually, the author's bed was in the middle of the room. There was the valet. Okay. Valet is a person who is in charge of taking care to somebody's needs. So there was this valet who was lying on the bed on the floor, right? As soon as he entered into the room, fine. As soon as the valet entered into the speaker's room, he tripped over, he stumbled, okay? He collided with the bed and fell down on the author himself. And the hot liquid, the burning liquid that had fallen down, was the speaker's tea. Okay, the candles were extinguished, the shutters were closed, so the valet could not see the bed in the middle of the room, and due to it, the valet had fallen down and tumbled down on the top of the speaker. Okay, here are the lines. While bringing me my morning cup of tea, he had tripped over the unexpected bed in the middle of the floor and fallen on his stomach, spilling my breakfast over my face. Here, my means the author. As you know, the story has been told in first person. Then comes the last part, that is the conclusion. Okay, the conclusion of the story is that, in other words, by trying to be too careful, the speaker brought upon himself the joke that he had been trying to avoid. Okay, the author was getting too much cautious, and due to this, he brought upon the joke that he was trying to avoid. There is irony in this chapter. Irony is when comedy or humor comes from a situation which is totally unexpected. The irony in this chapter is that the author was thinking that his friends will be the one who had planned a practical joke. But due to taking too many precautions, the author himself planned out the entire joke. The author was the center behind the entire joke. Okay. The author became the center of the joke due to his very own precaution. Okay. Now, we follow the speaker at every step, and we have seen the story according to his point of view. So this was actually a really funny story. This is the last line, but those very precautions had brought about the practical joke I had been trying to avoid. After this line, there is one more line which says that, oh, how they all laughed that day. But how they all laughed that day, how they all laughed that day is an example of the speaker. Okay, is an example of the speaker friends. Okay, is an example of the speaker's personal embarrassment. Why is that embarrassment? Due to his own mistakes and the laughter of his friends. Okay, so that was the story An Uncomfortable Bed, written by Gaudenz Maupassant, and this story is really easy to understand. I have tried to explain it, but still, if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section, and I want you to give a thorough reading of the chapter at least twice or thrice in order to understand this chapter, and you have to write the question answers given at the end of the chapter on your own. So that was the story. Do drop your likes, comment your doubts. If you need any extra help for this very chapter, please let me know in the comment section below. Until then, stay home, stay safe, happy studies. We will see you soon. Goodbye, children.